7:30 and then 8:30 for the Yamaha Moto T's talent show. Got some great talent lined up for that, as we got great talent now taking off this Lucas Oil starting gate as they head into the Bell Moto hole shot, and it's going to be the number 30 Jordan Jarvis, Hannah Hodges second, Jamie Asadillo in third, Valentina Galaz in fourth, Jasmine Canfield in fifth, Bryce Martinez sixth, Brianna Green in seventh, Brinsley Diaz is eighth, and Brianna Sheltema in ninth, and Shelby Rowland, last year's number 2 ride, opening up in a 10th place position, coming into this one with a bad knee injury, but still wanting to make sure she put out her rides here in 2019. Checking up front, the 17 to Hodges, quickly taking over the lead. See the 30 of Jarvis right there, trying to show her wheels. We head into Storyland, trying to make things happen here early on. These ladies are going to get into a heated battle, I believe, for this number 1 spot. And I know coming into this one, like we said, Jordan Jarvis not a bit happy with her 2 second place position finishes. I mean, the girl looked like she was so sad, so mad, and everything in between. And I look at her and I say, listen, honey, there's a lot of people that would kill to be in your position right now. Second place is not that bad, but I understand she's got the heart of a champion, the heart and the will and the want to win, and she's out there trying to make it happen on this racetrack right now.
Yeah, I always say there's a certain level and you just have to have paranoia at this level. You have to expect nothing but the best, and you could probably look at realistically and say there's nothing to be upset about, but that's what motivates these riders, accepting nothing but their best every single time. And how many times have we seen these three duke it out at Loretta's? Once they all moved through the ranks together and got it in the same class, it has been phenomenal racing. Canfield and Jarvis have been battling for years, and then lately they've added Hannah Hodges to their duels. Hodges was a little bit older, and then they all got in the same class together. And look at this action, Rodney. This is incredible. Hodges over Jarvis and Canfield, 1 lap down, and a whole lot more great racing to go.
Taylor Allred in fourth, Jamie Asadillo in fifth, Caitlin Klaus in sixth.
Oh, Canfield tucks the front end and goes down, so scratch her from elimination, at least for the moto win.
Still trying to get that bike. Yeah, still trying to get that bike up out of that deep rut. She's finally got it up and got it going now. What a heartbreaker there for the 46 machine, as Hannah Hodges gets a little bit of a break there with one of the duo that was battling for that number 1 spot, now gone. So she only has to contend with the number 30 of Jordan Jarvis, who was less than a second behind when they came by the finish line. But it looks like maybe Jarvis might have made a little mistake back there too, losing a little bit of time by some real estate opening up. She's still there, but starting to see things widen out between the 2 spots.
Boy, so how will that change things? But Canfield at least going back to 4th for the moment. She's going to have to try to track down Taylor Allred, who slipped by when she went down. What will that do for the points? But right now, Hannah Hodges doing everything she can.
If it is 4th place position, she's looking at a 1:14, which scores 6. Jordan Jarvis is looking at a 2:22, which scores her 6. So the tie would break with a best finish in the second moto. So Jarvis would get the nod as far as the overall championship in that circumstance. But Hannah Hodges still out there and still plenty of racing to go. Hodges, though, is a little tougher for her to win the championship, as he comes in with a 3-4. And with this one, would put her 3rd place overall with a score of 8.
Astudio comes through 5th. Klaus, Galaz, Green, Diaz, and Dennis rounding out the top 10. You're watching Jarvis trying to get this thing on track, keeping Hannah Hodges in sight, but not quite close enough to mount an attack or to show her a wheel or to make a pass. Here we go.
Well, as much as anything right now, this championship, the weight of this one weighs on both Jordan Jarvis trying to get around Hannah Hodges, or how far back Jasmine Canfield falls in the championship, or in this 3rd moto, to see what kind of championship points she does earn. She is 4th place, and now as things change, we have Jordan Jarvis looking like the national champion if it finishes this way.
Jarvis on the gas once more, looking to close in. Up to the rear wheel now of Hodges, switching lines back here. This is going to championship implications as well. Right now we're looking at a 6 and a 6 for both Jarvis and Canfield. Hannah Hodges will have 8 points, but Canfield could move up a position. Jarvis wants to do the same. So fourth, they are tied. Jarvis will have the title based on the third moto. If Canfield moves up to third, the championship goes to her. If Jarvis moves into the lead, then there's nothing that Canfield can do, and Jarvis will be champ. And I cannot tell you how many times I've seen Jarvis and Canfield, I'm talking in the girls class on Super Minis, all the way up here to the women's division, that these two have battled each other. Primarily, I think they know coming into Loretta's, that's my rider I got to beat. Once they moved into the division that had Hannah Hodges, now it's been a three-way duel, and boy, is it fun to watch. I know it's emotional for them because they all want to win, but they let out there on the racetrack.
Well, here we go into through lap number 3. We are pushing 6 minutes into this third and final moto. And I have to think that Jarvis, if she finishes in second and captures that championship, might be a little more satisfied with a silver medal on the podium today. But still, the win is what she's seeking. She wants to win this moto as bad as she wants to win the national championship. And at this point, I don't think she knows where she sits in the championship. She just knows if she wins, she positions herself so much better and maybe solidifies that opportunity to take home not only the Moto Gold, but also the big shield, which she came here to take home. And that's what she has her sights set on as we head down in front of the billboard.
Jarvis with 4 championships here at Loretta's, including women's 12 plus a year ago. Canfield, for her, this would be title number 5. Won the girls class 3 straight years, 2011, 2012, 2013. I think she had a big crash in 14, came back to win it in 15. So she has 4 titles, but hasn't won one since 2015.
Well, riders in that 10 Commandments, and Canfield Jarvis trying to reel in Hodges right now. Canfield still back in that number 4 spot as we're working on lap number 4. I have to tend to think she might be pressuring for third place. We haven't seen her on the camera yet, and I haven't been able to pick them up on the track, but I have to think that Canfield and Allred are really in a heated battle.
I think she made the pass.
I think so too. I think that
Allred's down to the inside, can't get her back. So now Jasmine Canfield's third.
So what does that do for the situation? A 1-1-3 that all of a sudden puts Canfield back in control of the national championship.
So the 46 of Canfield, yes, in control. It's going to be on Jordan Jarvis. She has to win the moto. She has to pass Hannah Hodges. Hodges, by the way, a 4-time champ here at Loretta's. So all these riders know what they're doing. Taylor Allred there in the 34th. She's won titles here before, but one of the younger riders in this class. So Canfield did what she needed to do. Can this rider, the number 30, can she get Hodges? It's all on the line right now.
Lap 4 coming to a close now as we are just over 8 minutes into this race. So,
ooh, someone is down. Is that Allred?
I believe it is. It looks like the 34 KTM. So if that's the case, that certainly makes things a lot easier for Jasmine Canfield maintaining that third place position.
Well, I thought she was banged up at first, but good to see her getting back up on the motorcycle. But tough break for the rider who was in 4th, Taylor Allred. That'll move Jamie Astudillo up to that spot as we go back to the fight for the lead. Hannah Hodges doing everything she can on the 17 to fend off Jordan Jarvis.
Well, Jarvis has shown a wheel here and there since basically the drop of the gate and through the whole shot force. I mean, we've seen that wheel come up there, but she's never really, I don't think, been able to set forth a challenge just yet. So as we roll through this one, we are nearing the halfway point. I believe these girls, yeah, they'll get the cross flags this time around when they come in. So we'll see whether the second half of the moto is going to bring maybe a little more aggression by Jordan Jarvis to try and force that pass on Hodges.
Jarvis running around the outside, trying to find a smoother line. There aren't any smooth lines. She's just trying to find one that's a little bit better. Man, Hannah Hodges doing all the right things to hold her off. Now on the Husqvarna. Let's see if Jarvis can get her. They've been this close the entire time, but Jarvis not quite able to show her a wheel. but we're only halfway through. So this is going to be a true endurance contest. Who's got the fitness between Hodges and Jarvis? Right now, Jasmine Canfield, who at the 1:13 would have the title.
We just clicked off 10 minutes on the clock, and so we're over the 10-minute mark as our leaders coming around should be touching down into the Thor sweeper turn, and there they are around Polysport Pond. And coming into the final closing moments here at the finish line, and there is Hodges through, there's Jarvis through, 1.5 seconds separating the two, and lap traffic also coming into play.
Past the billboards we go. Hodges, Jarvis. Oh, now that lap traffic that you mentioned, it's going to get bad. And this class does usually have a little bit more traffic than others because the women's class, since we don't divide it into, it's not an ABC group, you can even ride different types of motorcycles. You end up getting some really young riders who don't quite have the experience. Then you have riders like Hodges and Jarvis who have been winning races and titles here for a long time. You get a little bit bigger speed differential between the riders that just qualify and the riders at the front. And speaking of the front, there it is. The pass is made to the inside into the 10 Commandments. Jarvis has got it. Hodges is trying to fight back. And a lap rider is going to slow up Jarvis and give the lead back to Hodges.
Well, we knew that lap traffic was going to play a role in this, and I thought it may, and that's exactly what it's done. It played favor for Jarvis for just a moment, and then came right back and played favor for Hannah Hodges.
Oh boy, they got to tiptoe through these ruts with lap riders around them. That's so difficult. But right now, Hannah Hodges getting it done. You see that orange helmet on the 17? That's her. Jarvis is right there. Oh, Jarvis has to be so frustrated.
She dug really deep to put herself in that position, and I think she's got enough time as we approach the 12-minute mark. She should have enough time with this 8 minutes to reposition herself to challenge Hodges for that #1 spot. So more lap traffic there for Hodges as she's being very finicky trying to get through it as well.
They're headed back to this big sweeper. Jarvis down to the inside. Has to go to work again.
And that lap traffic has graced the 30 machine again and allowing her and Hodges to tighten things back up in this battle for the first place position.
Another lap down and more lead for Hannah Hodges.
1.5 seconds a lap ago. Now just under 1 second gap separating Hodges and Jarvis. And Jarvis, even though she got bit by the lap traffic on that lap, she was still able to utilize it to her advantage.
Oh, it's getting close again. Hooking back onto the start straight. Jarvis with a big run, but she's got to hit that anthill on the inside. That slows her up. Love how this track allows great racing even late in the day. Coming out of this corner, it's still advantage Hodges. 2 lap riders. Can she get them quickly in one corner? Yes, she can.
And look, here comes Jarvis now. She believes that she's going to be able to make that pass once more, pulling up side by side down the short chutes into the 10 Commandments, and the number 30 of Jarvis back out front once again, not even having to utilize lap traffic. She just took advantage of her speed and put it down.
That's the same line she used the previous lap. She actually got there a little bit sooner and made the pass even easier. Wow, airing it out into Storyland. She's going to try to put on a huge push to get away. Wait a minute. No, as she aired it out, now she might be having bike problems because she's slowed down and Hodges goes back to the lead. What has happened to the 30 of Jarvis? She tripled out of Storyland. Nope, my mistake.
Wow,
she's
no,
back in front of Hodges.
I thought she got around her as well. We've got some craziness going on here as far as the visuals going on, but it is the number 30 of Jarvis out front of Hodges as they come off the Rocky Mountain ATV MC sweeper turn, and they're here into the heart of this racetrack now. She rolls the number 30 of Jordan Jarvis. I'm right there with you. I saw that 17.
Yeah, I saw her get past and then get her back. So that's what, 3-4 passes between these two in the last lap alone. Because Jarvis, you can see, is desperate to get away. She wants this battle to be over with. If she gets the Moto win, I believe that will give her the title. But oh boy, Hannah Hodges is still close. Jarvis cannot afford a mistake, but she's done the hard part. She's caught and passed the leader. Can she hang on for 5 more minutes?
Well, Hodges obviously Canfield Jarvis obviously a member of that Fox team. She got that new MX-20 gear on, some sharp-looking apparel out there as we're watching there. There's the 34 of Taylor Allred. She was battling, actually moved up in the third. She's back there in that number 6 spot now, so we pick back up with her. Good to see her still circulating the racetrack right now.
The only other thing that could change the overall, besides a problem for Jarvis, is if Canfield could catch Hodges, but the problem is she's dealing with an 11-second gap and only 5 minutes remaining in this race, so it would be next to impossible for her to get there unless there's a problem. So she's going to have to root for bad luck for someone, or Jordan Jarvis is going to pull this out.
Well, it's Jarvis out front, Hodges second, Canfield in third, as Jason Wygant pointed out. Jamie Ostadillo in fourth, Caitlin Klaus now up to fifth. That should be 3 straight 5s for Klaus, a 5.55 for fifth overall. Looking at Taylor Allred with a 3.46, that would yield fourth overall for her. But right now, Jordan Jarvis is 2.21, looking at a national championship for the number 30, as she should be taking that 2-lap board this next time around, I believe, for the number 30 machine. She gets through some lap traffic out there, so the traffic is thick. But somehow or another, Jordan Jarvis has been able to manipulate it every lap, and every turn that she has been faced with lap traffic.
I got to talk to Jarvis last year after she won the title. I was kind of surprised. She doesn't do a lot of riding during the week. Still was a public school student at the time. I think she finally graduated now from regular public high school. She's 18 or 19 years old. But as of last year, she was not able to ride all the time. This year, she has a goal. Both her and Hodges have entered some of the Lucas Oil Professional Motocross Nationals in an attempt to qualify. Neither of them have been able to do that yet. But that is the goal, to try to make a national, not in a women's event, just in a motocross professional race, and see if they can run with the boys.
Well, the one thing about it is that in order to get faster, we've always heard that in order to be faster, you got to ride with faster people, and we're seeing that, and obviously every time they try, they get closer and closer to qualifying. I can't wait till the day they do it.
Yeah, just seeing Jarvis, even her first shot at a high point, she definitely showed people she could ride a motorcycle, and you would think it's a matter of time. They're both young, both got plenty of time to do it, so hopefully that does happen, but it's tough. This year we've actually seen huge fields. One thing I cannot put a finger on is some year the Nationals, we're getting 45 entries, 50 entries, and people are like, it's 4 strokes this, it's travel money this, and then 2 years later, the exact same bikes, same schedule, same everything, and you're getting 80 entries. This year, I think we've been into the 70s in almost every round, and they only take 40 to the gates. So you got to go real quick in qualifying when 73 or 75 riders enter to make that fast 40. So it's been tough. They've ridden well, but they haven't quite been able to do it. Looks like this one's coming to an end. That'll be the end of our day. I'm going to head to the podium, and this will be an emotional one because it's a tie on points, but Jarvis has the tiebreaker.
That's right. Jarvis looking at a 2-2-1 for the national championship, and as we said, those first 2 second-place finishes not so bad now that the championship is going to be over, and that will certainly work into her favor. The great consistency that she was able to pull here in this women's class. As the number 30 machine motors her way around, she'll be taking a white flag this time around under that Kawasaki banner. We'll say virtually no pressure, but there is some pressure back there from Hannah Hodges. But right now, Jarvis just seems to be in her own zone and not really affected by what's going on around her. It looks like she might have even put some more distance between herself and Hannah Hodges. It was 1.6 seconds, but I think that gap has opened up quite a bit more now. There's Jarvis in with a 2:10, so she's actually slowed down, not feeling some pressure. And Hodges has slowed down. We may have lost Hodges also, as Jasmine Canfield just moved into the number 2 spot, Jason Wygant. That gives her a 1-1-2 and a score of 4 and steals the championship away from Jarvis. Jarvis will get the gold, but it looks like Canfield will take the championship, and that at the mercy of the fact that Hannah Hodges just broke down and is off the side of the track out of this race. And Jasmine Canfield moves to the number 2 spot. Again, a 1-1-2, and that scores her 4. You can see the emotion on Hannah Hodges' face. As sad as it is for her right now, you know that Jordan Jarvis is going to be sad, maybe even sadder, but Jasmine Canfield will be crying tears of joy, I'm quite sure, if she can hang on to this one in this final lap of racing. Wow, what a major turn of events with just barely a lap of racing left to go. It looked like Jarvis had this one in the bag, sealed and dealed, but that's not the case. You cannot count the chickens before they hatch, as this breakdown by the 17 of Hannah Hodges changes the face of this championship completely. So now Jarvis at the mercy of what happens to Canfield. Will Canfield be able to maintain herself through this final lap, lap number 10? Does she know she's in position to take that championship, and will the nerves begin to rattle her here in this final lap? Canfield with a 50-second lead. She's going to have a major mistake or mechanical issue to take her out of the hunt for this one. Jamie Ostadillo will be looking at Moto bronze with a 3rd place position here. But again, as we roll around, the checkers are out for Jordan Jarvis. She takes the Moto gold. She goes 2-2-1. But it is Jasmine Canfield we wait on right now in that 2nd place position to see whether or not she will secure the national championship title. And with a 1-1-2, the number 46 of Jasmine Canfield will do it to take over the point lead and the overall win. Jamie Ostadillo looking for that rider to check in the 3rd place position to take home the Moto bronze. And of course, wow, things I'm sure are going to change quite a bit as this lap rolls on as far as that overall top 10 is concerned. But it is Canfield taking the overall as Jordan takes the Moto gold. And there's a look at the Rocky Mountain ATVMC top 10 leaderboard as we head down to the podium. Like we say, very emotional. There is Hannah Hodges walking off. You saw the disgust, the heartbreak, and now just plain old disappointment on the 17's face. But you can't take anything away from the efforts that she's put forth here in 2019. Obviously not reflecting it on the record books, but we all know just how hard these ladies all rode and how much heart they put into this this championship bid here for the 38th running of the Rocky Mountain ATVMC Amateur National Championship. Jason?
All right, we're just getting the bike up on the stand. We're going to celebrate the Moto win. I'm telling you, it's the same names every year, every class. Doesn't matter if they're on mini cycles or all the way here in the women's division on big bikes. It ends up being crazy coming down to the end. Gold medal, and for a moment we thought it was title, but it's going to end up being just short of that. But let's get the Moto win and hand it to Jordan Jarvis. And Jordan also delivered the start in that one, so I'm going to let her hold up the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. I don't know if you knew everything that was going on, but I definitely knew you had to win the Moto. You really gave it an effort to get it. It wasn't easy.
No, not at all. I knew Jasmine had to get 3rd, and up until that last lap, I didn't see Hannah off the side of the track. So when I came off the track, it was a real heartbreaker because I knew I had it. I rode my heart out. I got the whole shot, and I really pushed and gave it my all, and I was all over the track, but it's what I needed to do to get past Hannah and get the win.
Who do you want to thank? I know it's not the title, but a great week still.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my dad and Jason from SUB and everyone over there. They've done a lot for me this week. Yamaha, Fox, Monster, Atlas, Pro Taper, Scott, Dunlop, Nihilo, Butchie's Barbecue, Motool, ICW, Traction, Promoto Billet, Cycra, Engine Ice, Scott, Twin Air, everybody, thank you so much. You know, I really feel like I should deserve this title. It just sucks that luck wasn't on my side this week.
All right, there it is, our Moto winner. Let's hear it for Jordan Jarvis. Okay, we do need to move the 30 off to the side and bring up the 46, who has her championship here for the first time in a couple of years. But I'll also talk to Jamie Astudillo, who finished up in third. With the bike problems for Hannah Hodges down the stretch, I'm going to hand over the bronze to Jamie, and then in the meantime, we can start bringing the number 46 motorcycle up to the stage. So we're looking for Jamie Astudillo, who ended up in third, as we bring the championship machine on up. If Jamie's under the tent, send her to the podium, and I've got the bronze. All right, a hard-earned third. Let's hear it for Jamie Astudillo. Well, take me through that one. You're in a battle of your own, and it worked out, at least to get up on the podium.
Yeah, this week's been super rough. I've been getting crazy arm pump, and I've been finishing 6th the first 2 motos, which usually isn't where I am, and I'm not used to finishing that far back. But I think the trick is I drank almost like a water bottle full of pickle juice before this moto. So I think that was the trick. But yeah, I'm super happy to be up here. It's been a while, so yeah.
Hey, the announcers use that for the voice, so it has a lot of uses. Who do you want to thank, Jamie?
I want to give a big thanks to my mom, my dad, everybody behind me, SOBMX, MX Tire, and Dunlop, Yoshimura, T6 boots, Bell helmet, Scott goggles, and everyone else. Thank you so much.
Let's hear for Jamie Astudillo, third place.
Hey, Jason, a little update for you, buddy. We just saw an update on the overall top, or the top 3 here in this women's moto. It looks like Caitlin Klaus will actually get credit for third place there. That happened very late in the moto. Sorry, we just saw that.
Okay, Caitlin Klaus to the podium. And what the heck, we'll just start doing top 5. Why not, right?
Sorry about, I just noticed, Jason. I'm sorry. That happened very late.
All right, come on up, Caitlin. All right, I'm down here for 3 laps setting all this up. I missed that. I did check it with 1 lap to go. You got it done, Caitlin Klaus. How'd you get that third place?
Oh, I just stayed right behind her, just waiting for a mistake that she did. She made a mistake, so I got her.
Was it last lap?
Yeah, last lap.
All right, who do you want to thank? Awesome job getting. Who do you want to thank? Awesome job getting on the podium.
I like to thank God for keeping me safe, Mom and Dad, Rack Construction, FMF, EBR, Cody, my mechanic, Kyle Regal, Quicks Motor Ranch, RNS Power Sports, Zach Mashburn, ICANN, and 7 gear, yeah.
Okay. Caitlin Klaus, she has the bronze, third place in our final women's moto. Congratulations, and now we will talk to the rider who was able to get to second place, and that made all the difference. It certainly was tough after an early crash, but she recovered and is going back to the top here at Loretta Lynn's. Ladies and gentlemen, second in the moto, and once again a national champion at Loretta Lynn Ranch, Jasmine Canfield. So Alex Hunter from the American Motorcycle Association will hand over the number 1 plate. And Jasmine Canfield has it. Let's have a round of applause. Every champion gets a set of Oakley sunglasses. We made a joke. It's female Oakley sunglasses, usually for mom or sister. But for you, if you want it, there's champagne as well. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with the bad news. You crashed early. You had to be going crazy after that.
Yeah, I had back on the track out there.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, and then I just started clicking off laps and started slowly catching them, and then unfortunately Hannah's bike broke down, but it worked in my favor, so I couldn't complain.
Yeah, did you see her off the side, or did you ride by and knew what that meant?
Yeah, absolutely. I took the last lap, a glory lap around Loretta's. This is my last lap. I'll be back here in another year, so I just wanted to take it all in. Okay, all right, just making absolutely sure. It's been a couple years since you've gotten one of these. You had won a lot in your younger days. It's been crazy, the battles. It has to feel even almost better to get back up. Yeah, it feels amazing, and, I couldn't thank Melissa App's training facility enough. We put in the work, and they're just great people over there.
Cool. And who else do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank God for keeping me safe, Yamaha, Kenny Day, Triangle Cycles, Gold Coast Carpet Cleaning, Solid Rock Facilities, DT1 Filters, Hinson, Factory Connection Flow, Alpine Star, Scott Goggles, Lucas Soil, Dunlop,
Thor, Bell Helmets, Mika Metals, VP Fuels, and I think that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Another wild one in the women's class, and the championship goes to Jasmine Canfield. And quite a bit to do on the podium. FMF, they got their spray gun. And of course, Jasmine has been given podium champagne as well.
Well, that's going to do it, Jason. I believe that'll wrap things up.